feeling trapped by this curse of these just degenerate websites. I think that's how I felt. It felt like it was literally 3 clicks away, because it was. Always. And it still is. Like right now, I could go on my laptop and in 3 clicks, wow. The ultimate test of self-control right in front of us. Ready to grab us at the sickest, the smallest moment of weakness, bro, and you're grabbed, right? Like just like that, right? That's why discipline is just ridiculous. Like why? And I'm a big proponent of discipline actually, but if it's 3 clicks away all of the time, you can't really rely on willpower that much. You can rely on willpower for a lot of things. In fact, even like right now, as I'm recording this video, I have a bar of chocolate over there that is placed perfectly to drain and then recharge my willpower. Like I'm a big proponent of willpower, right? But it's a bit different, bro. When it's attached to genuine, like actual needs, and those needs aren't being fulfilled in other ways. It's like trying to stop eating junk food when you're starving. It's a lose-lose game. And it really is, bro. NoFap is a lose-lose game. Unless you get onto the things that we're going to talk about in this video. Joe gets onto NoFap. He's really excited. He wants to make all of the progress. Okay, come on, day 3, let's go. He relapses. Oh, come on, let's go to, come on, let's get to at least, like, day 4 this time. He relapses on day 2, bro. He's annoyed, he's drained. He's trying to learn how to be more disciplined and, you know, like, how can I increase my willpower to... He does this for all of his bad habits. He tries to find solutions to them, instead of doing what's the smartest thing really, which is to fix the root cause. But nobody ever does that, bro. Alexander has all of his needs met, either by himself or by other people in his community. Therefore, Alexander doesn't need degenerate websites, junk food. He doesn't need these things. For he has everything he needs, and nothing he doesn't. Because of this, Alexander lives a full and happy life, away from modern stimulations and he feels very fulfilled, and he's the happiest person you'd ever meet. This might seem a bit weird, but I'm going to actually tell you my story, my junk food story. So, around this time last year, I literally took a picture of my bedroom. And I'm not kidding you, bro. Imagine I've got like a double bed, right? Imagine that there's so much junk food and crisp packets and stuff on your bed that half of the bed is actually just covered in the junk food. And the other half of the bed is just your laptop, and you're just laying there watching videos. Like imagine that, bro. Like that was like my life. Like I was just getting like snacks from the shop like every day. Like just drinking like can after like my bedside table is just covered in cans of Coke. Honestly, like most of them still had like Coke in them. Like do you know like there's that like. There's like I've never drank the full can. There would always be like a bit left, so it would sort of get weird, and I wouldn't like clean it for like weeks or even sometimes months at a time. So it's just bottle after can of Coke. My bin would constantly need refilling because it was just getting filled with so much junk food. I really wanted to stop, right? So I would do this. I would decide, no, I'm not having junk food anymore. It's ruining my life. Like, I'd be so much healthier if I wasn't. And then I'd stop eating all the junk food, right? Guess what? Guess what would happen next? I'd just stop eating. Like, you might be like, just eat the healthy food, bro. Like, you don't understand, bro. Like I didn't have that situation back then, right? Like, I would go into my kitchen. I would open the cupboards. It would be like crisps, like pasta. It would be like a collection of foods, and I wouldn't even know how to cook. So it was basically just useless to me. If you don't know how to cook, all like 90% of food is just useless. It would literally just be like crisps or some chocolate bars, and then like we wouldn't even have fruit or anything. Like, it was just, that was it, and then maybe some toast. But even like toast, it's like, I looked at the ingredients. There's like 2 grams of sugar in a slice of bread, bro. Like, like even toast is incredibly unhealthy, but it's not easy, bro. And I would literally just walk around and I would do this. So guess what I do? I would literally just be starving myself until eventually you need to eat. So then you go back to the junk food. And then you consume on that. And honestly, like, this is the same thing, bro. It's the same situation. If you don't have any healthy food to eat and you want to quit junk food, you're just gonna be starving yourself. If you want to quit porn, but you have no control over your mental fantasies, and you're so tense with your body all the time. It's like trying to starve yourself. Like, it genuinely, that's what it feels like. And that is what it actually is. So the practices I talk about are the kind of practices that are like, it's like putting a bowl of fruit on your desk. That's what it's like. It's like you're no longer starving. You now have options, right? You're no longer starving. It just cures that, and I think it's beautiful, bro. Or you can follow the other no-fap YouTuber advice of just keep starving yourself, bro. Like you go all the way, mate. Like, eventually you'll get to the golden point or whatever. Like come on, 90 days. Yeah. They just keep doing this, and it's a bit ridiculous, bro. Stop trying to starve yourself. The ways that you stop starving yourself of this release of tension, which is what ejaculation actually is, right? You're just releasing the tension of your day. That's why you feel so calm and relaxed afterwards. Sometimes it can be annoying because you've got work to do, but that's why you feel it, because you've released all of your tension, and then you build it up again, and then you release it all. Like, that's why when you have a stress situation that you like tend to jack off that same night, because it's like you're releasing all of that tension. So, stop starving yourself of this release of tension and start just doing it naturally. And there are two of the, there's actually 3. I'm going to tell you today the 3 best ways to do this that are literally recommended by like top level guys. So the number 1 way, honestly, this is the number 1 way, and it's difficult, right? So we'll start with the really difficult one. Should we? Nah, we'll start with the easy one. Okay, what we'll do, we'll start with the easy one. Then we'll do the slightly harder one, and then we'll do the really hard one. Okay, how about that? Okay, the easiest one is to just do something for someone else. Now, this might sound a bit weird, but there are many ways that you accumulate tension, especially in your body, and one of the main ways is through bringing your attention on yourself in what this guy calls neurotic self-concern. So, you know when you're sort of walking, like, I was doing this the other day, I'll tell you a story. So I was going out to get my shopping. It goes into the whole junk food story. So what I did is I actually started to go to my co-op and just buy healthy food once a week and then just eat that throughout the week. And now I don't need to, like, feast on, like, something junk food all the time. So, literally, like, last Saturday, I literally went out and I started to get my food and I was buying it all. And I said, I walked into a grocery shop shop, right? So it's just where I go get my apples, and everybody seemed a bit sad. So I just said hi, and then nobody responded, right? So it might sound pretty like simple, but like, bro, like honestly, like the amount of anxious thoughts I got, like, oh my god, nobody likes me, like, oh my god, like, oh no, this is awful, but like, oh, it's all neurotic self-concern. They don't like me. They don't like me, right? They don't want to be around me. All of it just neurotic self-concern. Then I'd be like buying the food, and then I'd be walking out like, oh, these people don't like me. Like all of this neurotic self-concern. Honestly, I tried just doing some breathing techniques. They like kind of worked. What I should have done is should have done this practice I said. Eventually, some women literally said hi to me, and I was just so happy, and it sort of just went away. But what I should have done and what I will do in the future is I've got to remember to do this, because sometimes even I forget these practices, bro. Like honestly, what you got to do is, and what I've got to do as well, is you've got to give your gift to the world. What this does, it brings your attention away from, oh, people don't like me, to what can I do for other people. This sort of attention shift will stop you accumulating all the tension, because it's like, oh, people don't like me, and like you're just accumulating all of that tension, and you're just gonna jack off soon. Like obviously I know all these practices, so I haven't jacked off since then. So what you do like it's hard, like give your gift to the world. Now this is pretty broad, right? It doesn't have to be. It's no specific thing. It's pretty broad. Like it can literally be anything, as long as you're giving your sort of like gift, your gift of who you are to the world. So it could literally be any part of the world, right? Technically, me recording this video is giving, so I'm giving you advice. My gift would be maybe say the advice and what I know and all the skill and everything to the world. So the entire world can see this video. So technically, this me recording and talking to you, bro, is me giving my gift to the world. Me giving my gift to you. Which means that I'm getting rid of a lot of the tension I have in my body. Like right now. Like, just by recording. Like, isn't that sick? Something you could do, like, it can really be anything. You can literally just use your own creativity. Sorry, but like, amount of flies. like, oh my god. Like, I was having breakfast with my family yesterday, and I'm not even kidding you, there were like 6, 7, 8 wasps just like buzzing around. Like we created like a wasp trap, and we managed to get 2 of them. Like Jesus, the amount like the amount of like flies and wasps around, bro. It's annoying because it's like there's flies and wasps around, but it's like cold at the same time, so it's like awful mix. Yeah, bro. Whatever you want, bro. Honestly, it can literally just be going into the kitchen and like wiping the dishes. Some flies, and just anything like it doesn't have to be that, obviously, like, but you'll have to use maybe your own creativity if you don't want to do that. As long as it's giving your gift, so something that you have, to someone else or to just the world in general. Like it can be picking plastic off the street. It can be, I don't know. Trying to think. It can be like cutting the grass, bro. Like it can be moving some things that need to be moved in your house. It can be clearing some stuff out of the attic. It can be trying to think. Like it can be literally just tidying up like the living room from like yesterday. Literally anything. Like it's genuinely like, obviously, like I just named up a bunch of like things you could just do naturally in your house, but it can be something outside. You could just give advice to your friend. You could literally just do so many things. You could ask, hey bro, like what's wrong? Yeah, and then literally just try to help out your friend, and you'd be like releasing some of that neurotic self-concern. As long as you're trying to help someone else with their concern, instead of trying to think about like, oh, if nobody likes me, and like, I find that's quite common amongst us. Like, no wonder we're jacking off so much fun if that's our minds, right? So that's a very easy thing you can do. Like no matter what you're doing right now, but you can go and like wipe one dish and then put it down. It's literally like everybody can do that, right? This next one is a bit harder. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty easy, but you've got to remember all the different like you got to remember the order, so it's maybe like just a tiny bit harder. Okay. What you do next is a breathing technique. So when you're like when your back is sort of like bent over like this, you're accumulating a lot of tension in the front of your body, right? And this tension, it makes you jack off. It just does. So what you need to do, you've got to keep a full and open front, right? And the absolute best way to do this is to, number one, try and do it more often. That's just like, if you notice yourself sitting like this, try and correct it like basically immediately by just trying to sit like this, like just straight. Like, I'm not the straightest sitter in the world. Like, sometimes my neck is a bit forward and I try and correct it, and like, but try and correct your postures throughout the day. And then also another best way to do this is to literally just try full and relaxed breathing. So I want you to just go through the breathing techniques, otherwise this will take like 10 minutes. So follow each word I say for this next bit. Okay. Breathe into the muscles of your body that feel tense. So on the inhale, breathe into them, and then on the exhale, relax them. Do that just once. And then breathe into your lower stomach. Okay. Now breathe into your lower and upper stomach at the same time. Now breathe into your entire stomach, and then get your finger, right? And literally just put it where your belly button is, right? And then move your finger upwards towards your head until you reach that tiny bit of muscle that's like your diaphragm. And then that bit there, that's your solar plex. So in the next breath, inhale into your entire belly, then your solar plex, and then your lower chest. And then on the final breath, entire belly, solar plex, entire chest. If you notice your stomach was tight, or if there was a knot here, or if it didn't go out much, or like anything like that, just try to keep doing the breathing technique. You'll find your stomach will like open up so much. Like, generally, like, there was one day when I was doing it so much that like it was like I genuinely almost looked like fat. I was breathing so heavily, which is like, I think that's like actually a good thing. It's not like a bad thing. Like, it's not gonna make your abs look trash or anything. It's just breathing, bro. So yeah. That's because I was breathing in like so much. Like, it's just expanded so much with all that oxygen, bro. Great, mate. It's slightly more difficult because you've got to remember the whole rhythm. So the way I like to think of it is breathing through your tension, and then breathing into your lower stomach, and then going up until you hit your higher chest. That's how I like to think of it. So it's not that difficult, but if you think of it like that, you're sort of breathing into your tension, and then you're breathing up from your lower stomach until you reach your higher chest. So lower stomach, lower upper stomach, entire belly, solar plex, lower chest, entire belly, solar plex, entire chest. If you can remember that order, which is it's a little bit tricky. I remember it took me like a day or two to get into the whole rhythm. But if you can remember that order, it's slightly tricky because you got to remember the order. But once you do it, it's like natural, and then it's like, yeah, you just breathe like that throughout the day. So, okay, and then the third one, and slightly harder, not like incredibly difficult. Well, actually, like this might require, this is a bit more difficult. It'll probably require you a good few 4 or 5 days of like deep thinking. But it's worth it, and trust me, it is worth it. It's finding your purpose. So we've all got a purpose, right? All of us, right? Every guy watching this video has got a purpose. And if you find it, and you live to it, That's the single greatest thing you can do to like accelerate your nofap journey. And I'm not even messing around. Like every single time I've noticed a big like decrease in my like nofap like faps per month is when I was like following my purpose to a greater degree than I was previously. So, for example, at the end of August, I found my purpose. The next month, my fapping halved. Like March, at the start of April, I came back to YouTube. April was also the month that my fapping went from 15 a month to 8. That's kind of how my fappings worked. It's kind of like it was kind of like I got like a dip, and then it was like the same, and then I got dip, and then it was the same, and then I got dip, and then I think that's how it kind of works. I don't know. Like I think some people have like one less a month, and it sort of goes like that. But I think it works more like this. Like that feels more right to me. That's genuinely how my fapping went, and if you just think about it, like every single like it's just every single time I think about it, every single time I try to fulfill my purpose more. Every single time I try to record more, because recording is fulfilling my purpose. Because my purpose is something like. But anyway, it's about your purpose, right? You can just find your purpose by just getting a journal out, and it'll probably be a lot faster on a journal, to be honest. And just trying to ask that question, right? Like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? It might sound a bit vague for a few days, and you might give up after about 10 minutes. But those of you who are watching this can actually stick to it. They're actually like on this journey like properly. If you find it, bro, honestly, mate, like just live to it. Try and dedicate as much of your life to it as possible. And I promise you, this journey will feel like a breeze. Like it won't even feel like difficult at all, mate. It's powerful. Like it's powerful, but there is a bit of friction to finding it. That's why most people don't know their purpose, because it's simple. Like, the author of the same book that's given me all this advice recommends that you live to your edge more as well. So you live to your edge. You try and find what you fear, and then stay with that fear. And if you keep doing this like every single day, I think he says it like more easily open yourself up to your purpose or something. Once you find your purpose, bro, it's beautiful, and you can fulfill it more and more, and you'll fap less and less. But that's only for the advanced members, you know. Those of you that just want to like chill and watch the video and do like small breathing techniques, that's sick. I even do them as well. But for those of you who really want to get like fast progress on this journey, find your purpose. It's the single greatest thing. It's the single greatest piece of advice I could give you on this journey. It's a shame that it's also probably the single hardest, but I guess it's not for everybody. My name is Sam. Fix your brokenness for your purpose.